Good morning. Good morning. I wish I could find my other pen. Hey, prepping for the backyard. Tala. I wish I was there, RG. Good morning. Give me a second, you all, to create this Zoom link for us to head over. Good morning, Rev Carm, our Digi Deacon on duty today. What's this? Good morning. Hold on. Schedule. What's this looking like now? Good morning. Come on in the room, friends. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Come on into the space as I get this clearing link. If you are interested in joining our subscription community, oh, what happened? Hold on. If you are interested in joining our subscription community, a monthly subscription community, just hit me, type me in the chat, and we will get you a link to do so. And when you do so, you can come right on over to our private Zoom where we talk back to the text. Ashe, you can have access to our private Facebook group and be in community with us. Ashe. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. Come on in the room. Okay. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Ashe, come on. Let me get on over here. Byron, oh my goodness. I miss you. Let me get over here. Let me get our YouTube together. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, Ronnie. Good morning, Bianca. Good morning, Dana and Barbara and Daniel and Pastor LaFon Ashe. Good morning, Carm. Good morning, Leah and Michelle and Tad and Baranda. Good morning, Dina and Tangi and Marilyn Pagan Banks. Good morning, Tanya Denise. Good morning. Good morning, my brother Francis. Good morning, Kim Vini. Good morning, Carmela. And good morning, Byron. Good morning to our communities, both on Facebook and on YouTube right now. She was from Statesboro. Oh my, oh my. Yes, Ashe. Good morning, Ardella and Cynthia. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Go ahead and tag your friends. Tag your friends. Invite them to come on into this room. And if you would like to come on over to our digital hush harbor, where we meet after PRC, where we go into a more secluded space to engage. Good morning, Mama Hazel. We invite you to just say me, and we will get you that. Good morning, Reverend Dr. Monica. Y'all make sure that you go ahead and sign up for Dr. Monica Coleman's virtual retreat. I misspoke on last week. I gave you all the wrong info on the cost. And so I want you to go ahead. She'll drop the link and you go ahead and register. This is for inquiring. This is for those who've had inclinations, who first of all, this is for the curious one. That's just pause there. For the curious, for those who have been interested to learn more about the intersections of those practitioners of African indigenous religions and why it is not in tension with their practice of Christianity. And so Dr. Monica has dropped the link. Kim Vini says that she's registered, and I'm so excited for all of the people. I'm going to register, but I'll need to get the recording because I won't be available that day. So, but I want you all to do it as well, because oftentimes, some of you jump in the inbox, you have questions that take longer than the small amount of time that I might have to answer. And this is just a beautiful space because we should be learning in community anyway, Ashe. So make sure that you register for that. So that was part of this week's announcements. And of course, there are a few more announcements, and the ones that I want to make are about, of course, you know where I'm coming. I'm coming right here to Reclaiming the Village, the 31st commemoration of the Ma'afa, restoring our values and honoring our voices. Ashe. I am so super excited about the Ma'afa. I'm going to place in the chat two things, both on Facebook and on YouTube. I am going to first place on YouTube. This is the schedule of events. For those of you, you know how we do. Who gonna be there? And one day we gonna get over that. One day we just gonna show up because our spirit is pulling us, and we are not going to follow personalities. We are going to follow information. Ashe, that's a word. That's a word. One day we are not going to, we're going to pause on following personality or care, whatever. We're going to follow the information. We're going to follow the leading of the spirit. And so the first thing that I've put here in the chat is the schedule. I don't want that. Hold on, y'all. Is the schedule of events. Paste. All right. What is this? Hold on, friends. Why? Well, give me one more second. It's tagging somebody that I don't want to be tagged. Okay, let's copy again. Copy. Come over here to Facebook. Paste. There we go. All right, and so all week we will experience conversations around reclaiming the village. Here are some of the speakers. I don't have the days in order, but you see what needs to be seen. Ashe. Okay, and on Sunday, look at me in July. Sunday, September 21st, the Reverend Anika Wilson Brown, PhD, will serve as the guest proclaimer, opening up the Ma'afa. I am so excited to be in her company and to experience her proclamation. On Wednesday, another Washingtonian, Reverend Dr. William Lamar the Fourth, will be the proclaimer for Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. So excited to experience his proclamation. I remember Bill preached a sermon at Proctor. For all of you I were there, this was some years ago. And he ended with engine number 9. We was out there, pick it up. Like it was just so Bill. And then closing the Ma'afa on Sunday the 28th is none other than Madam President, the Reverend Maisha Handy, PhD, who will be closing out, but will also be speaking during the Ma'afa. Listen, friends. It does not cost to register. You do need to register. If you want to attend virtually, the morning plenaries will be live streamed. Well, the morning plenaries will be streamed via Zoom, but you have to register. And so you could just head on over to the St. Paul Community Baptist Church website under Ma'afa and register. There is no cost to attend the Mbongi or the learning sites. If you do want to see the production, the Ma'afa Suite production, there is a ticketed cost for that. I think it's $50. Other than that, there is no cost to attend. You just need to get there and be there in the place. And so I hope to see you there. Ashe, I hope to see you there. I am looking forward to it. All right, let me go back to my people. Friends, another announcement. Prepare to be sick of me this week, starting today. Because on Tuesday, Derek and I will celebrate, commemorate, observe our 18th anniversary of being parents together. My. Wow. Big Free is turning 18. Wow, wowzers. So, I'm telling you now, I'm coming with all the million posts, so forth and so on. So just get ready. Ashe. And if y'all in Pittsburgh, if these are any of my Pittsburgh people are on here, you hear my accent came out real thick. It's my Pittsburgh people. We don't say Pittsburgh. We say Pix, P-I-C or P-I-X, Pittsburgh. If any of my Pittsburgh people are on here, make sure that you stop by Second Baptist Church there at 108 West 12th Avenue, Homestead, Pennsylvania. Pastor LaFawn Flood is on right now, and I'm partial. That's the church that I grew up in, and it is doing marvelous things. New energy, new life. Go on and stop by if you're in the Pittsburgh area. Make sure that you tell them Dr. Melva sent you. All right, y'all, let's get into it. Some musings, just a few musings, Ashe. Just a few. Today's text comes from the book of Revelation, no S. The book of Revelation, no S. One more time. For the people in the back, the book of Revelation, no S. The book of Revelation, no S, chapter 21, verses 1 through 8. Listen for a word. Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and there was no longer any sea. I saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride beautifully dressed for her husband. And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, "Look, God's dwelling place is now among the people, and God will dwell among them. They will be God's people, and God's self will be with them and be their God. God will wipe away every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain, for the old order of things has passed away." Hey, Earl. He who is seated on the throne said, "I am making everything new." And then he said, "Write this down, for these words are trustworthy and true." He said to me, "It is done. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end." Ooh, I just got a new revelation, but I'm gonna have to table that. Just reading this right quick. Verse 6, to the thirsty I will give water without cost from the spring. Oh, to the thirsty I will give water without cost. Now, I'm not parking my car here today, but I will give water without cost. That's a whole from the spring of the water of life. And those who are victorious will inherit all of this. And I will be their God, and they will be my children. Remember that. And I will be their God, and they will be my children. But the cowardly, but the cowardly, but the mealy-mouthed, but the low vibrational, but the cowardly, the unbelieving, the vile, the murderers, the sexually immoral, those who practice magic arts, the idolaters, and all the liars, they will be consigned to the fiery lake of burning sulfur. This is the second death. Don't have no issue. I'm not even getting ready to deal with the bottom half of that right now. Just don't set that somewhere else. This is the word that has been written for us to consider. This morning, this is the part four of our Black August series, The Fire Next Time. And this morning, I'm not frozen. Give me a second. On Labor Day weekend, I want us to meditate. I want us to meditate from the theme in this fourth installation of this series. I want to meditate. First of all, pause. Let me pause 1 second. Let me correct myself before we move forward. And I meant to do this. And so thank you, Bianca and Sherry. Hey, Sherry. Happy birthday, Sherry. Thank you, because seeing your names just reminded me that I didn't do it. And so I want to run back. Please forgive me. I just want to run back. I want to make a correction. And I want to acknowledge and honor and commemorate all of the people who were affected by Hurricane Katrina in the Gulf Coast in Mississippi and Louisiana, and those who were even affected in Florida, for which the Gulf Coast, for which the hurricane on its first go round affected. 20 years ago, and really it should be then thoughts out to everyone, because everyone should have been touched, outraged, enraged by the treatment of American citizens here, the way this government left people in the Gulf Coast without a plan, without guidance, without basic needs to fend for themselves. For those whose lives were lost, it is upon everyone that poverty and low wages and affect populations of our society, that when they are called upon and need to protect themselves by getting to higher ground, they cannot. This is on all of us. This is on all of us. And so I just want to pause. Bianca, I read your offering. And there were others. Certainly, I was not in New Orleans. I do, though, very vividly, extremely vividly remember being glued to my TV for 3 days until Derek had to just turn it off, crying in front of the TV, feeling so just helpless, unable to do anything. And I had never even been to New Orleans. My first time to New Orleans is after Hurricane Katrina, unfortunately. I'd never even had an opportunity to go. The sermon, if any of you ever read Dr. Shurkirk Dugan's book, The Sky is Crying, Race, Class, and Natural Disaster, there's a sermon that I preached called After Hurricane Katrina and Rita, what now? And so I just want to pause and to acknowledge and offer just a moment of silence before we move forward. For everyone affected and for the lives that were lost around Hurricane Katrina. Let us take a moment of silence. Ashe. This morning, I want to engage us around the theme, around the title, Imagining a Free Future, a New Heaven and a New Earth. Imagining a free future, a new heaven and a new earth. Beloved, Black August, this is what we've been talking about for the past 4 weeks, and I just want to remind you that it's not a holiday. You shouldn't be engaging in any Black August sales. It is not just like Labor Day sales are an anomaly to me. It is an observance. It is a commemoration, Ashe. It was born in the California prison system in the 1970s to honor the lives of George Jackson, Jonathan Jackson, and all political prisoners who stood against the carceral state. It is a time of fasting, a time of study, a time of discipline and recommitment to the struggle, Ashe. Black August, then, friends. What does it do? Black August calls our attention to the inhumane treatment embedded in the empire's prisons, reminding us that there is always a cost for living intellectually and spiritually free. Those who resist know this well. Sometimes the cost is your job. I want to already, even though we're just getting started, I want to make a quick deviation. I was talking to a colleague on yesterday who shared how a colleague, doesn't mean this colleague works in my institution, because some of y'all be trying to put pieces together, a colleague in the work, who said that they are no longer invited to the meetings because they ask too many questions. And I thought, my goodness, Black women, we're not invited to the meetings because we ask too many questions. And yet, when we're not at the meetings because we did not ask the questions, the institution gets in a world of hurt and then wants us to put on our cape to save it. I mean, listen, listen. It was just a thought that folks become so intimidated by our ability just to simply ask a question. There is always a cost to those who live intellectually and spiritually free. To those who resist, there is a cost. And sometimes it's not just your job. Sometimes it's your reputation. And sometimes it's your very life. As a community, we have walked through memory, the sacred practice of remembering our ancestors and our freedom fighters. We have embraced resistance, holy refusal of empire's idols. We have practiced discipline, not deprivation, but devotion to the fight. And now we end with liberation. Liberation, imagining and building a free future. Revelation 21:1-8 paints a breathtaking vision. And then I saw, and then I saw a new heaven and a new earth. See, the home of God is among mortals. God will dwell with them. They will be God's people, and God's self will be with them. The New Testament scholar Brian Blunt reminds us that Revelation is not an otherworldly escape plan. It is resistance literature. Written to oppressed believers under Rome, it proclaimed that empire does not get the final word. Revelation 21 is the climax, a new creation where death and pain are no more and where God dwells with the people. For Blunt, this is not about abandoning the earth, but reimagining it, resisting Rome's death dealing order by envisioning God's just future. It's hope as insurgency. Let me tap in Ruha Benjamin and her text, Imagination, a Manifesto. It carries the same energy. Benjamin argues that liberation begins when we dare to imagine beyond empire's scripts. She teaches us, quote, that we get free by unshackling imagination from colonial and capitalist molds. We get free by rehearsing freedom now, by creating communities that embody the new world order or that embody the new world before the old one collapses. We get free by refusing to wait for rescue. We must embody the rescue that we seek. Let me let y'all get it. We must embody what we seek. Now, here's the question. What does it look like for God's dwelling place to be among the people? Not a sky god removed from us, but God reflected within us, between us, as us. Because what if God, if I can just muse for a minute, my considerations, and this right here is for the mature, the spiritually mature, the intellectually curious. This is not a Sunday school lesson, what I'm about to say. And this also is what comes with the freedom to think beyond the confines. And I know Dr. Monica is going to be right on this. What if God is not an invisible being who lives somewhere in the sky? What if the human concept of God is in desperate need of rescue from our limited frameworks? What if God, or the idea of God, is a mirror reflecting back to us our interior lives in relation to our exterior worlds? What if God, what if God, or the gods, lower G, regardless of religion, are an invitation to see, to tap into our own power and to wield that power ethically? What if the real question is not about waiting for divine rescue, but about how differently we would move if we recognize our ability to shape, shift, and to create, and our responsibility to act justly? What if our ancestors already knew this truth? What if this knowing is what empowered some to self-emancipate while others could not bring themselves to do so because their gods had been beaten out of them? I have come to this conclusion, that there is no sky God. Yeah, God. I said it out of my mouth, Ronnie. Jesus, God, today. Now, some of y'all going to take this and run in the wrong direction. That there is no sky God. But there is, however, a power within, Sabrina. There is a power that, when we peer at it with clear vision, reflects our collective potential. This is the radical term. A God who is not up there, but a God who is here. My God, today. A God who is not a distant king, but a God who is a reflection in the mirror of our humanity. When we see the divine in each other, we become each other's people. See, the text says, I will be their people and God will be their God. But when we pause on the sky God, when we acknowledge that God, the concept of God, the human construct of God, is an opportunity and invitation of a reflection of our most interior selves, then we don't require to be an exterior's people. We then see the divine in each other. Namaste. We become each other's people. Oh my, oh my, oh my. Oh my, oh my. This is what our freedom fighters knew. They didn't wait for divine rescue. They embodied divine presence by daring to resist, by using their own bodies as vessels of imagination. For them, heaven was not wishful thinking. Heaven was the radical knowing that they were what they needed. Jesus, Melva. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. I got to rock on this for a minute. Mm, mm, mm. Mm, mm. It will free you if you let it. He. Right, at a joke. Uh-oh. Yeah. Yeah. Cause listen, y'all. Well, let me stay on track. Our ancestors carried this same revelation when they self-emancipated. Y'all know what self-emancipation is? When you free yourself. When you escape. They didn't wait on a sky god. They trusted the earth beneath their feet where their ancestors resided. Jesus. They trusted that the earth would guide them. They trusted the stars in the sky that would lead them. They trusted the God who walked with them, who walked in them, who walked through them. This is why empire fears us. You know why? Because a people who see God in themselves cannot be colonized. What's the mathematics, God? What's today's mathematics? If you know, you know. Because a people who see God in themselves cannot be colonized, because a people who embody God together will always rise again. I got 3 quick points. One, liberation of the mind. We must imagine beyond empire. We must refuse empire's scripts of despair and limitation. I'm going to say this, I'm going to say this, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this. How you say? So you know, is really short for I'm going to. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this. Preachers, You got to expand. You got to expand. You got to expand your theological imagination. Dean Corey Walker says that theological imagination is resistance in play. You have got to preach beyond people's individual circumstance, beyond their need to be blessed individually, beyond this kind of personal piety, what God can do for you. You got to stop making God through Jesus be a genie in a bottle. Preachers, you have got to preach about the systems at play. Let me tell you something. You must expand your own theological imagination. It is empire script to have you only thinking about inviting people to strengthen and deepen their relationship with the sky God. Versus deepening and strengthening their relationship with the God that resides here, that they may see not only their potential, but their authentic ability and power to shape shift. And that when we do this united and collectively, preachers, I implore you, please go just a little bit deeper. Now, hear what I'm saying, because some of you not hearing what I'm saying. Some of you are saying, well, people going through stuff. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, if you focus on a radical communal responsibility versus trying to deepen one's personal piety, then you will infect, if you will strengthen the resolve in a community who identifies our ability to shift things on our own without the need from rescue from a sky god or rescue from a tainted empire. I'm just saying. And just because you put like a popular culture tag on it, just because you might have whether you got thousands of members or whether you got 100, just because you got a glossy flyer, listen, your people want more. No, they don't. Friends, they're right here on this timeline. They're in my inbox. Your people are dying of thirst because the theology that you're preaching to them has no depth, it has no width, it has no weight. And stop running to these preaching conferences that don't have no depth, don't have no width, don't have no weight. That doesn't allow you to wrestle with that doesn't allow you to be truthful, that doesn't allow you to confess possibly that the sky God and me, we got issues. That offers you a quick, just come to the altar. Now listen, I love a good cry out at the altar. But get with you some folks who can hold your truth, who can hold your question. That is not restricted to your denomination or your district supervisor or your convention. Y'all. And this the preacher professor telling you. I'm about to step in it right now. I mean, folks was mad at Dr. Weems about, thinking she was coming for the D-men's. I was going to say the DMs. The D-men's. But I want to add something on. Outside of like Woman Preach, who's doing extremely good work. This kind of wrestling. I don't know if there are any others like Women Preach or to do something similar, then include them in. I'm not saying them because I don't know them. That's all. What we aren't going to be honest about is this is a money grab too. We ain't going to say that though. These preaching conferences are money grabs too. That's why I'm not interested in them. I'm not interested. I don't want to do one. I don't want to go to one. I'm cool. I'm cool on it. I'm good. I'm good on that. I created what I wanted because I imagined it. Here we go. Imagination, liberation. Yeah. I imagined Derek and I, the One Love Festival. Where we snap fans. Where we engage in coded competencies, where the proclamation was not about how to tighten up your theme, how to use a Western model to preach to African people. Y'all don't hear me though. Yeah, I'm in it and I'm telling you about it. Yeah. Well, I'm not telling you how to tighten up and how to, give you the Greek model of the soccer. Listen. Oh, people, if we gonna be free, we gonna be free. If we not, we not. I just want to tell you that if we gonna talk about it all, then we gonna talk about it all. What business is it to gather if we ain't talking about a plan? What sense does it make? What sense does it make? Half of y'all scared to tap into the fullness of your spirit anyway, because we've been told and we've been taught that it is antithetical to white Jesus. So the minute we feel the African Holy Ghost, we shut it down. Hello? Let me go back. We got to liberate our mind and imagine beyond empire. And some of this stuff, if y'all truthful, are models of empire that you are feeding your people, refeeding your people, feeding your colleagues. And you got to be honest that it's a money grab. Now, I ain't talking about conferences where people get together and are able to have I told y'all that. I'm talking about the money grab. How many more of these do we need? How many more? Black people, how many more of these? I even saw one or something we were talking about, said to teach you, one of the sessions was to teach you how to hoop. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Listen, if your sermons for Melva Sampson, if your sermons are not pushing folks to the edge, it's not pushing them while at the same time holding them. If it is not an invitation to think beyond what they've been socialized to believe, to imagine and expand something far greater, something that makes them uncomfortable, what the hell are you doing it for? What are you doing it for? What is the purpose? What is the purpose? Oh my God, my God, my God, today. What is the point? What's the point? What's the point? Jesus, what's the point? Whoo, yes, added Joker. That's exactly what happened at the One Love Festival. She said, we got to conjure, not convene. That's the issue. But y'all scared to conjure. And I don't know why, because you grew up in a tradition of conjure. Come on, Pentecostals. Come on, Apostolics. Come on, Full Gospel Baptists. Come on, Holy Ghost filled people. Come on, where my tongue talking people. Come on, come on. You grew up conjuring in the name of Jesus. Every knee shall bow, every tongue shall confess that Jesus is Lord. Whatever is bound in heaven is bound on earth. I decree and declare you ain't nothing but a conjurer, an incantation worker. baby, retrieve your spiritual tools. Train your imagination to see new possibilities, to see new economies, new communities. And can I say one more thing here? Hey, yeah, my God. Ooh, Jesus. Hey, I feel my help coming. I feel it. Yeah. I don't know what be happening. See, when I get to talking like this, y'all start sharing, and then the little views, the people on here start increasing. We ain't even had these many views, but now I'm talking this. Folks is like, what she talking about? Put it in a group chat. Listen. And this is risky. You better believe this is risky. This is the fire Jeremiah talked about that was shut up in his bones. Hey. Train your imagination, Adejoke, to see new possibilities and new economies and new communities. Stop hustling. At the root of a hustle spirit is the fear of lack, the fear of insufficiency. And as a result, because we are deeply rooted in this Western model, and we are all, Ronnie, I know you're not going to like this. If you live here in this hemisphere, you a capitalist. You may not be full blown. You may be trying to limit how you are a capitalist, but you won. Because this is how this hemisphere functions. This is how this space works. You know, because the street prophet Jesus said, Georgia Power don't give a ninja lights free. There has to be an exchange. Yeah. And the issue with hustling, when you don't train your imagination to see new possibilities, is that you use the very models that oppress us and our communities to hustle each other. Oh my God, Melva. You can't see the new economy because all you can see is what is in front of you. And you need to attend to what is in front of you. But if we all stop relying on the sky daddy, as Angie Shannon said, and recognize that the power and the presence has always been for us to recognize and to operate ethically and authentically within ourselves. And if we did that, if we rooted up this colonization that filled the void that was created by the colonizers, then we would not have to wait on an entity to dwell with us, that we would dwell within ourselves, that we would rely on our tools like Collective Courage writes about mutual aid, cooperative economics. And then even if when there is a need, we would not be concerned because we would recognize that instead of being crabs in a barrel, excited that one person is always trying to grab to the top, that we would understand Ubuntu. We would understand, come on, another tool, that our present, our future, and our past are inextricably linked. That when I eat, you eat. There is a shift required. This is the gospel. This is the gospel that Jesus was inviting his Jewish family to consider, that there is a new reigndom here. There is a new way for us to live, that anything that is last will automatically be first, not because of favor, friend, because of fairness, because of equity and equality. Don't miss it, baby. So that when there is a need, then I don't have to worry, because if I am operating in Ubuntu, then somebody already knows that I have this need, and my community is already on the way. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. But when you do not train your imagination, when you do not see new possibilities, when you do not see new economies, you wound your community. So ask yourself daily, am I thinking with empire's fear, or am I thinking with God's freedom? Second, liberation of the body. Live as if you was free now. Care for your body as it's sacred. Put things in your body that nourish your body, that strengthen your body. Rest. Resist systems when you can that profit from your exhaustion and your depletion. Oh, well, shoot. That's church. You know, shout out to the Gathering of Womanist Church in Dallas, Texas, where the pastors are Reverend Doctors Camila Hall Sharp and Irie Lynn Session, for the co-leading model. Some of you are co-leading models, but there still is a senior pastor, even though it says co-pastor on the title. And I have yet to see, I'm not saying that there are, I'm saying I have yet to see because I'm not aware. If they're aware, let me know. If they're there, let me know. I have yet to see the co-pastor model that is not a married, usually heterosexual couple. Usually where the male is the lead and the wife is the co. And usually the wife is the one who's most spirit-led and is the better preacher anyway. But it is the imagining of a new system. That these two sisters said, we are going to co-lead. And not only are we going to co-lead, we are not going to labor ourselves into a tizzy where we are unable to function and or fathom. We are going to invite other people to preach, and where we only preach once a month. Oh, come on. Because we are not interested in training the people who walk with us, or as they call them, ministry partners. We are not interested in them following us. It's not about following us. We are interested in them in becoming a community that is strong enough to hold the truth of its members. And we want to create spaces where more truth can be heard, and that we are not the only truth bearers or truth to power speakers. Come on. Come on. But if we want to tell the truth about it, we have been. This is what it means to be drunk with the wine of the world. I got to go. I can't stop. Drunk with the wine of the world means that you are now caught up in the hype that people say about you. You are caught up in the hype of the way that people. This is not a word. This is not a word. This is not a word. What I'm about to say. The way that people celebritize you. You a faith influencer. Listen, everybody can't be Jamal Brown, and why would you want to when you have your own? How faithful are you to your own? And the truth of the matter is that you can't rest because the model that you use is rooted in white supremacy. And it is always about more and materiality and conspicuous consumption. And so now the way that you've set up your leadership model is that nothing can go on without anybody talking to you. Meaning you don't even trust the team that is with you. Therefore, you don't trust nobody now, and possibly because you've dealt with people in an unkind way. And so now you don't even, let me get off your toes. Let me just say, Resist systems that profit from your exhaustion and your depletion. Any system, a family system, a church system, a business system, a relationship, a friendly relationship, a platonic relationship, an intimate relationship. Resist systems that profit from your exhaustion and your depletion. Remember that our bodies are sites of the divine dwelling and resistance. I love that, Tracy. Learn to work from freedom and not just for freedom. Huh? That will free you if you let it. Finally, a liberation of the spirit. Become each other's people. There's so many thoughts running through my mind right now. I told y'all when I'm silent, it's just because I'm wading through my thoughts. Oh my God. I just keep hearing I don't know if she's the antagonist or the protagonist in Tony K. Bambara's Salt Eaters. Do you want to be free? Do we want to be free, y'all? I don't really think we know what it is to be free. We want to be connected. We don't want to be free. Jesus, help us today. We want to be publicly acknowledged. We don't want to be free. We want to be on the dais and on the flyers. We don't want to be free. We want a lot of followers. We don't want to be free. To be free, friends, 100% means you're going to lose some things. But if we become each other's people, if we practice communal care where we build networks of support that are not based on what we can get from each other, that are not based on trying to position ourselves for our next come up. If we can see the divine in one another and act accordingly with reverence, with dignity, and love. Because liberation is not me and mine. It's us and ours. And those of us who live by us and ours are weary. We tired because we watch me and mines ascend a ladder that is faulty. And we know that there's nothing at the top of that ladder that will last. And now our voices are hoarse because we tried to tell you. But you called us crazy. You ostracized us. You pushed us to the margin. You got intimidated when we asked questions. You got threatened when we showed up in our authentic power. Because you couldn't admit to your own insecurity, to your own fear of a new heaven and a new earth. Because a new heaven and a new earth would mean that you would lose your grip on all of the false gods that you presented as real. And so the us and ours have been exposed to the extremities of life. Our fingers are blistered, our feet are blistered. While the me and mine get fat off the land with your conferences and your convenings and your... But when there are convenings that offer for you something beyond the tradition that you know so well, that invite you to learn, that invite you to lean, that provide a reclamation of the village, somebody has to press you and somebody has to beg and somebody has to either demand or almost embed, but yet you take your money. To register for things and for convenings that don't teach you about your history, that don't reclaim you to your indigeneity, that are one-sided, that don't share with you the beauty and ecumenity or an interfaith, that don't even allow some of us to be on the program outwardly, because if we are LGBTQI and A, but you put your money there. You put your money somewhere weekly where you cannot even show up in the fullness of who you are. What makes church different from Target? I want it to be clear. I love Black church. And because I love the Black church, I want the Black church to be better. I am not calling for the death of the Black church. I want it to live more abundantly. I'm not renouncing. I'm exposing. I'm inviting. Beloved, I want to close in this way. Liberation is not a fantasy deferred. Liberation is ours to imagine. It is ours to build. It is ours to embody. So here's your charge. Become the generators of hope. What is that? Is it an organization or someone that calls themselves hope dealers? Not consumers of despair. We know it's bad. We know what we're seeing is horrible. We know that this is unlike what many of us have ever experienced it. We know this. But I'm not going to day in and day out consume it. Melva Sampson isn't. I know it's there. I see it. I experience it. Depending where you work, you're affected by it. Depending where you live, listen. But I am not going to consume despair day in and day out. It can't get in my. It cannot. It's not even healthy. Live as the builders of the new heaven and the new earth here and now. Be the dwelling place of God for one another, embodying justice, love, and radical communal care. Because friends, I want to tell you just in case you didn't know. We are not waiting on heaven. We are becoming it. We are not waiting on God. God is already here. We are not waiting on deliverance. We are the deliverance. So people of God, people of the struggle, people of memory, resistance, discipline, and liberation, we have walked through the fire this August, and we are still here. We remember, we resist, we are disciplined, and we are free. May the memory of our ancestors be our compass. May the resistance of our political prisoners be our courage. May the discipline of mind, body, and spirit keep us steady in the storm. And may the vision of a new heaven and a new earth ignite our imagination. We are not waiting on heaven. We are becoming it. We are not waiting on God. God is already here. There is no ceiling. There is no floor, just space to be. We are not waiting on deliverance. We are the deliverance. So go forth in the name of the God who dwells among us, the Christ who walks with us, and the Spirit who rises within us. Go forth as fire bearers and truth tellers and freedom builders, and may your lives declare to empire and to all who would bow to it. Even if we burn, we will not bow. Even if we struggle, we will not quit. Even if the world grows weary, we will not lose hope. Go in power, go in peace, go in love. Ashe, 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 ashe. Oh, headed to the